Case of the Commonwealth versus Darvin Estrada, on indictment number 2015-55, count 1, charging trafficking in heroin over 200 grams, and count 2, conspiracy to violate the Massachusetts Controlled Substances Act. Mr. Estrada, at this time, do you waive the formal reading to each of these indictments?
He does.
How do you plead, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Commonwealth, question of bail to the defendant, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Question of bail. The bail in the district court was set at $200,000 cash. The Commonwealth would like to continue that on the indictment with the additional terms. Should the defendant post of surrendering his passport, no travel outside the Commonwealth without prior court approval, GPS, and a stay away from the location of the incident, 220 River Street in Waltham, and no contact with Commonwealth witnesses. The facts underlying the Commonwealth's request concern an investigation conducted by the Department of the Bureau of Customs and Border Protection, which seized a package being sent to one Mario Santos at 220 River Street, apartment number 1 in Waltham, on or about December the 11th, 2014. They found the package contained a number of pill bottles with capsules and powder. They did a field test on some of the powder and found that it was indeed heroin. They transferred the package to the Massachusetts State Police, who conducted a controlled delivery on December the 11th, 2014. 220 River Street in Waltham is a house with a convenience store on the first level. The officer acting as the delivery agent was unable to locate a Mario Santos on the apartment, so went in to speak to the clerk at the store, Juanita Vasquez, who told the trooper that she was accepting the package for Mr. Santos, and did indeed accept the package. Thereafter, she was interviewed by the state police, and she confirmed that an individual she knew as Chewy had requested that she receive the package for him. During the course of the conversations that she was having with the special agent and the Massachusetts State Police trooper, her phone rang 3 times with a number Darvin 2. And thereafter, the landline for the store also rang. At this time, Ms. Vasquez was allowed to answer that phone and spoke to the individual and relayed the conversation to the troopers that it was indeed the individual she knew as Darvin calling, saying that he was going to pick the package up for Chewy. It should be noted that both Darvin 2 on Ms. Vasquez's cell phone and the landline received a call from 631-875-9361. That is the contact number on the package label to one Mario Santos at 220 River Street, apartment 1 in Waltham. After a period of time, the defendant, who's before the court, appeared in a car, double parked, entered the store, spoke to Ms. Vasquez, and Ms. Vasquez went to the rear of the store, retrieved the package, brought it out to the front counter, where the defendant asked her to provide him with a plastic shopping bag. The package was put into the plastic shopping bag, and the defendant left the store. He was detained by police as he reached his car and arrested. Thereafter, he gave a statement to the police at the police station, basically stating that he had no knowledge of what was in the package, the contents, but rather was doing a favor for a friend and was simply holding it, picking it up and holding it until someone came and picked it up. He expanded on that by telling the troopers that an individual that he knew as Carlos Hernandez, that he had met in Guatemala and knew in Guatemala, had asked him for a favor, called him and asked him for a favor, and that was to receive a package for him, and that someone would come and pick up the package. When he was asked why it is that the package was not sent by Mr. Hernandez directly to him at Mr. Estrada's address, Mr. Estrada replied that he was told that the package was already en route which did not explain why, if the package was already en route, the telephone number on the package matched the phone that he had in his possession. Additionally, Mr. Estrada told the police that the phone that he had that number was essentially received recently from an acquaintance that he knew in New York City. But he was unable to provide the police with the name of this individual that had provided him the phone. That statement was contradicted by a statement of Ms. Vasquez, which is that this phone had been in the possession of the defendant for at least some 6 or 8 months since his latest return from Guatemala. And that's why it was in her phone. The contact list of her phone is Darvin 2 rather than Darvin 1. Additionally, she told the troopers that the defendant did make frequent trips to Guatemala. He has family down there. And additionally, that she has known him for a number of years. But this was, I believe, the first time that she'd ever received a package on his behalf. Now, the reasons for bail, Your Honor, the defendant does not have a record, but he does face some potential penalties of mandatory sentences of at least 12 years. And he does take trips outside the Commonwealth and indeed outside the country and has family back in Guatemala, visits them at least once a year, according to the information that we have. The request is that the $200,000 bail set in the district court remain.
Thank you. Counsel will be back.
Yes. We believe a bail of about $7,000 will be sufficient in this case, for several reasons. One, Ms. Estrada has been in custody for at least going to 4 months now. As my brother counsel just read in court, there's no criminal, any other criminal record other than this particular criminal record. He's lived in his community for at least 5 years. He has a job, he works full time. He makes about $50,000 a year. His family is here. He actually lives with his mother, who is there, and I'm told he's actually the one who takes care of her. And an older grandmother who is in Guatemala, they send money down to her. There is medical issue in the family, and Mr. Estrada has been taking care of them. And there are some issues, as my brother reiterated, concerning this particular case. Mr. Estrada was very cooperative with the police when he was arrested. He did not resist arrest. He even gave some statement, and there's an issue as to whether the Miranda rights were given. In the case, he cooperated. He even gave consent for his house to be searched. The police, they went over there. They did not find anything that would attribute him to this particular allegation. He did tell the police he was not aware of what the package had. The package did not even have his name on it. And on top of that, he get arrested right even before he opens the package. So there's an issue there, an evidentiary issue as to whether actually he even knew what was in this package. It's going to be an issue contested in this case. So there's a case that has a whole lot of holes in it. Also, it's interesting that this case actually is here. It's not quite clear as to why this case was not taken over by U.S. Attorney's Office. It started off in Miami. The alleged offense apparently happened in a federal facility, in this case the airport. So we got a whole lot of issue going forward. What we are requesting here is, given all these circumstances, Mr. Estrada is not a flight risk. He's lived in this community, he has a job, he has a job, he lives with his family. He's willing to submit his passport to court just to assure that he'll be able to come here when, if required. He's a landscaper, which means he'll be able to travel around Commonwealth. He's okay. I've talked to him about not traveling outside of Commonwealth. He's fine with it. So with all this, we request that a bail of about $7,000 will be sufficient to ensure that he comes to this court.
All right. What So the estimated weight of the heroin that was seized?
Yes, Your Honor, 24 bottles were seized from the package. Some contain capsules, some contain powder. Of the ones that contain capsules, there were approximately 909 of those containing brownish powder. Those have been tested preliminarily at this point. And the aggregate weight of basically all the substance testing positive for heroin is 504.35 grams. So it's in excess of a half kilo.
Estimated street value of that?
Conservatively, between 1.4, 1.5, excuse me, 1.4 million, Your Honor. It has to do with essentially
No, I understand. It's
the purity
purity
issues. So,
All right, well, given the potential penalties that he faced, I think that high bail is warranted. I'm going to set bail, as you know, counsel, it's set without prejudice, it can be reviewed by Justice of the Superior Court. But I'm going to set bail in the amount of $100,000 cash with the conditions under 27687 as requested by the Commonwealth. Do we have a pretrial conference date?
yes, Counsel and I had discussed, and we were hoping for May the 1st, if that's available.
Which
Should be
day?
fine.
May the 1st, a 30-day date, May the 1st?
Yeah, that's fine, as long as counsel's waiving the 21 days. Okay.
Mr. Estrada, it is ordered by the court that you recognize the Commonwealth of Massachusetts in the amount of $100,000 cash. This amount will be set without prejudice. Failure to appear at any court date may result in a $50,000 fine, 5 years in the state prison, or 2.5 years in the House of Correction. Furthermore, if the cash bail is posted and a crime is committed, if and when released, the bail could be revoked and you could be held without bail. Mr. Estrada, do you understand the warning?
Yes.
As conditions of bail, you will have no contact either direct or indirectly with any of the Commonwealth witnesses. You must stay away from the location of the alleged incident. Be placed on the GPS monitoring bracelet. You must not leave the Commonwealth of Massachusetts without permission of court. And you must surrender your passport to the probation department. Mr. Estrada, do you understand and agree to these conditions?
Yes.
The matter is continued to May 1st at 9 a.m.